Hey guys, it's Gina, and as promised, I am going to be doing a freezer meal prep video. Um, if you were in my live Friday, September 1st, I discussed meal prepping. I asked other people about meal prepping, and I shared that I would be doing some meal preps and I would share them on the channel. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with some pot roast and chicken. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. Alrighty.
All right, guys, so we are going to work on these chicken legs. We are going to add some marinade to them, and then we're just going to freeze them with the marinade. So I have a garlic parmesan, and I also have a sweet chili marinade. So I'm going to do 1 pack of on each of the bags, and then we're just going to toss them around, get all that seasoning on there, and then that's going to go in the freezer as a prep. So when I'm ready to make these, I can bake them, I can air fry them, I can grill them, I can smoke them. I could do whatever I want to do with them. I mean, some people might put it in their crock pot. I probably wouldn't because that's not my preference, but you could. So that's all we are really going to do there. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil to each of the bags and toss that around. And then once that's all tossed in that flavoring, we're going to throw that in the freezer. That's as simple as it gets, y'all. And you could do this with any chicken. So chicken breast, chicken thighs, chicken legs, chicken wings, whatever. And whatever marinade that your preference is. You know, you could do that. You don't have to buy ready-made marinades. You can make your own marinade. So whatever you like. But this is what I'm going to do just because I had these on hand and I like both of them. And I'm like, you know what? Easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that's enough for a meal for my family. You would do it in the amount that's enough for yours. There's 3 of us in my house, me, my husband, and my daughter. And that's enough for us. So there you have it. That's one prep. And I'm going to do the same thing with the garlic parmesan. Just toss it around, get that marinade all over the chicken. And we're just going to let the air out of it, zip it up, and then put it in the freezer. And there's 2 meals right there. That quick, that easy. So when I tell y'all, I just try to make it simple for me. This is just eliminating a step for the day that you need to cook. Like most of my freezer preps are not me cooking up a lot of food. It's just me prepping it so it makes it easier when I'm ready to cook it. It's just one less step. So there you go. Easy peasy. You can't beat it. So just, like I said, use whatever you would like and throw the mugs in the freezer. So the day you want to cook them, they're ready to go. All right, so let's get into this next prep, y'all. All right, guys, so now we're going to be doing some chuck roast. I bought 2, not chuck, well, I guess it was chuck. I bought 2 roasts from Costco. I chunked them up, and now all I'm going to do is add some stuff to it. So I'm going to do one like for a beef stew, and I'm going to add some onion. I'm going to add some carrots, and I'm going to add some like brown gravy mix. So I think I have au jus, but you can use either one. I just used what I had. I thought I had some brown gravy, but you could just use whatever you have because I know how to thicken it up and when I get ready to make it. I'm going to throw some mushrooms in there. And you could put whatever you like, whatever you would put in your roast, you could put in there. I'm going to add in some onion soup mix. And like I said, you're just going to prep it up the way that you would eat it when you're ready to eat it. Because all I'm going to do with this is when I'm ready to cook this, I do have brown gravy, so I'm going to throw that in there, and I'm going to throw a packet of the au jus. But when I'm ready to cook this, I will put it in my fridge the night before. And then the next morning, I will throw this into the crock pot. Easy peasy. And I ain't got to do nothing. So, but I'll probably make something to go with it. Or I might just dice up some potatoes and throw them in there too. But I'm not going to do that ahead of time. I'll do that then, or maybe the night before. I'll prep them, and then I could just throw them in there. So you just mix everything around in the bag till it's well, coated. Let your air out. And so you can freeze it up. You don't want to get no freezer burn on your food. Zip it up. And then that's one meal ready to go into the freezer for another day. See how easy that is? And it's just whatever you would do normally for that meal. Just throw it in the bag. So that's one down. I'm also going to do another one that I'm going to prep up. And I'm going to do this one as a beef and another roast, beef and gravy roast. And then the last one, I'm just going to leave that as it is because I made a beef curry, Jamaican beef curry, and I wanted to have some meat on hand if I want to make it again. So that's the reason I bought the roast in the beginning, and I was like, well, I could get 4 meals out of this. So I've already done the curry. I have these 2 pot roast meals that I'm going to put in the freezer, and then I will have some more beef that I'll just freeze where I can make another curry at another day. And I'm not going to add any seasonings to it right now. I'm just going to freeze it just like this. You don't have to chunk it up. It was literally a roast when I bought it, but listen, it eats however you cook it. So whatever your preference is. I wanted to cut it up. That way I got more bang for my buck out of the meal because the roast by itself was just too big. That was too much for my family. So I wanted to just cut it down so that it would be better for what we need. So there you go, guys. And like I said, I just put the date and everything on it and what it is, because I will assure you, you're going to think you're going to know what something is after it freezes, and you're not. So make sure you put the date you put it in your freezer and what that item is, so you're not confused when you go back to cook it or pull it out to cook it. So there you go. We got 3 more meals. So we're up to 5 now. Let's get into it.
All right, guys. So I had thought I had recorded while I was prepping my chicken breast for the freezer. So I did some chicken breast that I cut up. I did a fajita. I did one that I sliced up to make chicken Phillies one day, and then I marinated some chicken breast. So when I do the overall, when I'm done, you'll see everything that's in the freezer because it's already in the freezer. I don't feel like going back down there to show you it, but I'm sorry. I thought I recorded it and I didn't. So what I do is I take the chicken breast and I slice it thinly so that when I want to make chicken Phillies, fajitas, whatever, I just can take that out the freezer and be able to make it. I take the meat, I take another bag and I put the vegetables in it if it's like fajitas. So I don't put the fajitas in there, but I will season it. And then I just freeze it. So it's there and ready for when I want to make that. So I do have 3 more with the chicken breast. So there we go. So that is the end of part 1 to my freezer meal prep video. And then come back later, probably in a few days or next week, and I'll drop the video for part 2 once I get that one all ready and edited. So I hope you like this. Tell me if you do. If I do different meal preps in the future, I can share that. Let me know if this is the kind of stuff you like, if it gives you ideas, so on and so forth. And I'll continue to do that because I like looking for different ideas and I like sharing them. So like I said, that's part 1. I'll be back for part 2 and I will share that, like I said, in about a week or so. All right, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.